Hi guys, welcome back to 8 and 8. So today's video is our very final last video
There's
that
no
you
other
will
one after
ever
this.
see. The point of today's video is to just do a reflection on the journey of coming up with the concept of 8 and 8, bringing it to life and everything that we've experienced throughout. And also to let you guys know about, why we even started 8 and 8. And that it was not just like, okay, we want to do this show.
Yeah.
It started somewhere, Yeah.
Yeah, so basically how this all started was because it's a project. It's our fourth term project. As fourth year students at Rhodes University, we decided that for our fourth term project, we would do a talk show. But a lot went into this, right? We had other ideas before this, and we'd like to share some of those ideas that we had with you guys.
We started off with like wanting to do, I don't know, something focused on different hairstyles or people who just have had different hair journeys and doing different profiles on them for every week. What else did we?
I think we also wanted to do something about language.
Yeah,
trying to like find someone who is trying to sort of like adapt from going to a school where they learned how to read, write in isiXhosa to now being in a university where they're expected to express themselves in English.
What was the name? Kanen? I forgot.
But you speak so well.
You speak so well.
Yes, you speak so well.
I loved it, Shame. It was a great idea.
I can't remember. I think the one thing that I had in mind was just there's a job I'd like to get, and I feel like maybe something that has to do with like speaking in front of the camera, so that I can show like my potential employers that I can speak in front of the camera and all of that. So I didn't think talk show. I don't know where the talk show came from.
I think we tried to eventually combine all the ideas that we had. And I think what we shared mostly was the desire to find people who, they have these unique lifestyles. Maybe not a unique lifestyle, but they're doing something, And so I think that's how we just ended up being like, okay, let's just do a talk show.
It turned out great.
Yeah.
It turned out amazing.
Well done.
Yay.
Okay. So literally our first video.
Sure.
It was tricky. We started late.
We did.
Because of
load shedding. We started late because of load shedding. And also just shooting for the very first time. And we'd never been to the place where we were shooting at.
Yeah.
So we're kind of like figuring out, do we now move the chairs to face a certain way? What about the lighting? Are we then going to sit here or are we going to sit there? And also we didn't know much about wardrobe.
We didn't. We really didn't know much about wardrobe. So like, I don't know, like I think in the first video, that's where we had to learn, basically. Trial and error. Every week was trial and error. When we make a mistake in one video, we fix it in the next. That's why some things are not exactly the same, and it's because it's a learning experience.
I think for the intro, the light was the best light in terms of all of the episodes. Look at all the videos that we shot. I don't know how we did that. I don't know how we mastered that.
And we forgot. Shame.
I don't know whether it was the weather or it was the colors that we were wearing.
First experience hosting.
That must have been scary.
I was so nervous. But shame, I feel like I was stiff. I'm not too happy with that. I'm still not happy with it even now. I feel like I was not myself at all. I feel like I just wanted to finish because I was that nervous. But I learned from it, and even learned from your interview with Prevail, just to be more natural and to kind of draw the guest in, with their responses and talk to them and engage with them and not just strictly be, on a timer, but, be natural. It was
the first episode. You couldn't have learned from any other thing.
How about you?
Episode two. Episode 2 was my favorite. I think it was my favorite in terms of hosting. I really enjoyed it. I think everything went well.
Even shooting, I enjoyed shooting episode 2.
And I think another reason why I enjoyed it is because the guest and I sort of like were bouncing off of one another, and also just how I think I just let loose. I just told myself that, you know what? I've never done anything like this before. It's my first time. Let me be myself. If I want to laugh, let me laugh. And also just to make the guests comfortable. Because if I show up as somebody else that she doesn't know, she'll get a bit confused. And she won't know, should she now take up a new character? Should she now behave differently as well? You know, trying to meet me where I'm at.
But how did you find shooting, I guess, for a talk show?
Shooting for a talk show is a bit different from any other shoot I've done, like in terms of like documentaries, music video that I've done in the past. I think shooting a talk show requires a bit of paying attention to detail, right? So if you see that, okay, either the host or the guest is not looking at the camera in front, then they're not engaging with the audience. It's just a intimate conversation between two people. So for me, it was a thing of, okay, you know what? Let me encourage both of them to sort of like engage with the audience. Don't forget your audience. Don't forget to do this. Don't forget to also engage with one another. Relax. Okay, don't move around. It was hectic, but I enjoyed it. How did you find it?
I think I also enjoyed it a lot, and I think the tricky part was when we had to kind of indicate when the timer has ended, especially for the last 2 episodes, because I didn't know men can talk that much. Really?
Men talk.
I didn't know.
More than women.
They make it seem like we talk a lot, but hi, son. So yeah, I like tried to indicate, but I also didn't want to seem too distracting, so that like, you know, the guest doesn't look at me now, and they're supposed to be either looking at the audience or the host. But I really enjoyed it, man. I enjoyed shooting in this way. I think it was easier because also like the shooting I've done has been for more like complex things. But this was simple. It was just easier to manage. It was easier to know, okay, this is where I'm setting this camera and, you know, this is where it's facing. All right, week 3.
Okay, that's when we shot 2 episodes.
Yeah, week 4 actually. We were shooting Bongo and Mpho.
Yeah, we shot 2 episodes for the very first time, shooting 2 episodes in one day. And
that day,
guys, we were going down, literally. We were literally going down that day. Our cameras.
So what was the first issue?
We arrived and then the cameras weren't working.
We were so anxious. I was laughing a lot because I was like, I don't want to cry.
Honestly, with me, I was panicking. I was keeping quiet, but I was also making threats.
Punch. She was making a lot of threats.
I'm not gonna mention to who the threats were directed, but like honestly, I was making threats and I was also very quiet because I was just like, I'm trying to think, I'm trying to come up with a solution, but at the same time, just like speaking to our supervisor. Our supervisor came out to help us.
Yeah.
Shout out to you, Dr. Elliot. Thank you. And also Kyla, because she was also giving advice. Thank you, Kyla, our other supervisor. We love you. I think I've gained the skill to sort of like speak to a guest, sort of like how to make them feel comfortable, how to try to get them to speak and to not shy away from certain things, which was easy. Like for my guests, they were just like already they like extroverted, maybe not extroverted, but they like willing to speak without being prompted or anything like that. And also learning how to work alone. We worked together, but when it came to like editing, we did editing separately. Knowing how to work alone, but also calling out for help when you need it.
How do you feel about just your skill in creating a story, creating an idea, a concept, and bringing it to life? How challenged do you think it was?
I think it was very challenging. Because with a documentary, it's like, I think it's very different. Talk show, documentary, those are 2 different types of visual storytelling. So I think this was very challenging, but I enjoyed the challenge. I liked the challenge. I was like, I'm up for this. I want to see what I can do. And just seeing that I'm capable, for me, it was like, okay, I can do it. It's nice. Okay, I didn't realize I had that in me. So I think just doing this has made me feel like I'm ready to go into different kinds of industries. Like I feel ready. I feel like I've been equipped to like take on different challenges, and I'm ready for my next challenge, I guess.
You're ready.
Ready.
You're ready.
I'm ready, guys.
Wonderful.
How do you feel? What have you learned? What skills have you gained?
I think I realized that I'm very comfortable with something like this, where it's me and the camera, you know, and, you know, it comes naturally for me. But once I have to now engage with a camera and audience and also engage with a guest, it's a bit more challenging, especially if I don't know the person well. But I think in the second episode that I was hosting, I feel like I was more relaxed and I just learned to block those thoughts. But yeah, I feel like with more experience, I would be able to just be natural and be more comfortable in it. And then in terms of skills, sure, I think they've been refined, definitely. And I also just learned how to use Adobe After Effects as well. Like, yeah, I played around with that a lot. I had fun with it. Making motion graphics and stuff, making a timer. Yeah, the best teachers are those Indian guys. I'm telling you right now. They are the best teachers. Like, I was watching so many other videos because I thought, okay, it's going to be hard to hear them because, you know, the Indian accent. So I was like, okay, these other videos aren't making sense. And I started watching those. That's when my understanding of just After Effects became better. And again, I was just playing around with, you know, motion graphics, making a subscribe button, making all these things, you know. But I think I appreciate our guests as well because, like, the guests we had really, really showed up, you know. They kept time, you know, they came, you know, and they were patient when we were having these challenges where there's load shedding, our cameras aren't working. So
they were so understanding.
And I think what we did really well for ourselves, again, I think you saying, okay, we need to plan, you know, because in my mind I was thinking a plan, okay, this is what episode 1 is going to be about, you know, this is what episode 2 is going to be about. But no, it was a proper plan. At this time to this time, we're doing this. On this day, we're doing that. This is what we're editing. This is when we meet our supervisors. So I think I learned that from you, that actually having a proper detailed plan saved us.
Pre-production, don't ever take it
saved
for granted.
Us.
Never skip
it saved us.
And it must be detailed pre-production, please. Yeah, it's coming to an end.
This is the end.
Sad.
Like, we're hoping, really, though. I don't know how.
Fingers crossed.
We really don't know how.
Pray for us.
But if possible, 18H would definitely
pray for us. Again. Pray for us.
Definitely.
So that we can continue to shoot. Pray that we get equipment. Pray that we're able to make more content in the future.
Definitely.
Yeah. But for now,
it's goodbye.
Bye. We love
guys.
you guys.
We love you.